For public. Okay. For public participation guidelines, members of the public wishing to participate in the meeting must use their full name for Zoom access. If full names are not used, people will not be allowed to participate in discussion. The town reserves the right to remove any member of the public from the meeting who doesn't use a full name or acts inappropriately. I'd like to start by confirming member access. As a preliminary matter, I'm Penny Dye, Vice Chair of the Trust. Permit me to confirm that all members and persons anticipated on the agenda are present and can hear me. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Meg Browers.
Here.
Forrest Bell.
Here.
Shanta Bloss Murphy.
Here.
Abby De Molina.
Oh,
Just,
can you hear me?
Yeah, just say here.
Here, sorry.
Thank you. That's all right. Tom Dixon.
Here.
And the chair, Brian Sullivan, is not in attendance today. Staff, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Christy Parentella.
Here.
Ellis Ramos.
Here.
And no Rachel, but we do have Lee Smith.
Here.
Thank you. Anticipated on the speakers on the agenda, please respond in the affirmative. I don't see Judy Barrett's not here, right? Okay, no anticipated speakers. We will have public comment. Okay. Good afternoon. The open meeting of the Affordable Housing Trust is being conducted remotely pursuant to Chapter 20 of the Acts of 2021. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. The meeting will feature public comment. For this meeting, the Affordable Housing Trust Fund is convening by video conference via the Zoom app, as posted on the town's website, identifying how the public may join. Please note that this meeting is being recorded and that all attendees are participating by video conference. Accordingly, please be aware that other folks may be able to see you and to take care not to screen share your computer. Anything that you broadcast may be captured by the recording. All supporting materials that have been provided to members of this body are available on the town's website unless otherwise noted. The public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda unless the chair notes otherwise. Meeting business ground rules. We're going to turn to the first item on the agenda shortly, but before we do so, permit me to cover some ground rules for effective and clear conduct of our business and to ensure accurate meeting minutes. I will introduce each speaker on the agenda. After they conclude their remarks, I'll go down the line of the members, inviting each by name to provide any comment, questions, or motion. Please hold until your name is called. Further, please remember to mute your phone or computer when you're not speaking. Please remember to speak clearly and in a way that helps generate accurate minutes. For any response, please wait until the chair yields the floor to you and state your name before speaking. If members wish to engage in a conversation with other members, please do so through the chair, taking care to identify yourself. Okay, for items with public comment, after the board members have spoken, the chair will afford public comment to those members of the public that have joined the meeting via Zoom. Members of the public who wish to speak must state their names and be acknowledged by and speak through the chair. Finally, each vote taken in this meeting will be conducted by roll call vote. Why did that take 3 times as long as when Sully does it? I think he was forgetting parts or something. All right, I'm going to call the meeting to order. And the first item on the agenda is the approval of the agenda. This is an action item. Has everybody had a chance to read the agenda? And if there are no questions, could somebody please make a motion for approval?
Motion to approve the agenda, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Dixon. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, thank you. By roll call vote, Forrest Bell.
Aye.
Thank you, Meg Browers.
Aye.
Thank you, Shanta Bloss Murphy.
Aye.
Tom Dixon.
Aye.
Thank you, and Abby De Molina.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye, so it's a unanimous vote. Okay, next item on the agenda is public comment for items that are not listed on the agenda. I do see we have a couple of guests here. Would either of you like to speak under public comment? Yes, Bob Little.
No, thank you.
Oh, okay. It looks like your hand's up. Oh, no, it's my hand. It's my cursor. Sorry.
That's
Funny.
okay.
Okay, thanks. Well, Okay, so nothing under public comment. Next item is number 4 on the agenda. It's the approval of the minutes.
Thanks for asking, Penny.
Oh, of course, you're welcome. Nice to see you. Approval of minutes of August 6th, 2024, which were very long minutes. Did anybody have any changes, corrections, suggestions? If not, could we entertain a motion, please, for approval?
I'll make the motion for approval.
Thank you,
Second.
Shanta. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Tom. By roll call vote, all those in favor, Forrest Bell?
Aye.
Thank you, Meg Bowers.
Aye.
Thank you, Chantal Bloss Murphy.
Aye.
Thank you, Tom Dixon.
Aye.
Thank you, and Abby De Molina.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye, so it's unanimous. Okay. All right, next is number 5 on the agenda. It's an update on the Affordable Homes Act. And Christy, do you want to take this item, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
So since our last meeting, the Affordable Homes Act was signed into law on August 6th. This was extremely exciting legislation at the State House. Every 5 years, they issue a new housing bond bill. And this year, Governor Healy really went above and beyond anything we've seen in the past. Her original ask was for $4 million. This passed at just over $4 billion. This passed at just over $5 billion and added in a lot of new policy tools for communities focused on increasing affordable housing. One of the big things we were watching this legislative session was that Governor Healy included a real estate transfer fee. While that was ultimately not included in the final bill, they did include a seasonal communities designation, and they automatically included the towns in Nantucket and the Vineyard. So we automatically have this designation, and we're still learning a little bit more about what that's going to mean. But to recap a little bit about the Affordable Homes Act, some of the big policy things that they included was allowing accessory dwelling units or ADUs by right. This is something Nantucket already has, and the planning board will be looking at to see kind of how the Affordable Homes Act impacts our current zoning. It also is establishing a foreclosure mediation pilot program and implementing eviction record sealing protections. They're creating an Office of Fair Housing, which is going to be situated within the Executive Office of Housing and Livable Communities. And they're streamlining the use of state-owned land for the creation of housing. And in terms of seasonal communities designations, they are defining how people will be able to apply to this. So other communities along the Cape and Berkshires and other communities that see this high population influx throughout the seasons will be able to apply for this designation. But as I mentioned, we automatically were included in it. And this is going to allow us to establish a year-round housing trust without going through a home rule petition process. We'll be allowed to acquire year-round housing occupancy restrictions to support the development of middle-income housing. And this is exactly what our pilot program aims to do, but these would not have AMI restrictions on them, only occupancy restrictions. It's also going to allow us to acquire and develop housing specifically for public employees and artists. And there's going to be opportunities for state and federal funding towards those housing developments. So we're still diving into a lot of it. It's kind of fresh off the press, and we're working with our counterparts on the Vineyard and the Cape and Senator Sear to really learn about kind of when these things pass, when are they going to actually be implemented, and have some guidelines from EOHLC. So I just wanted to give everybody a brief update on everything that passed and the new tools that are going to be coming down. I think it's been a really exciting year. We've all been at the State House several times over the last couple of months, and it was really good to see this be implemented and giving Nantucket some new tools. So as I know more, I'll send things to the board and be able to update the trust at future meetings.
Great. Thank you, Christy. Does anybody have any questions about this for Christy? Yes, Tom.
Yeah, Madam Chair, I would just say, Christy, thank you for your and Tucker and others' work on even getting making the case for Nantucket and the islands perspective. And, we're not altogether that different from other towns on the Cape, but we do have a unique scenario here. and getting some of those provisions in the seasonal communities designation and having a voice on that was really important. And I think it helped Senator Seer and Rep. Fernandez make the case. So really good work on that.
I'd like to follow up. Thank you, Tom. I'd like to follow up and say in our packet, there's an excellent update from KP Law about the Affordable Homes Act, dated mid-August, and how it impacts what we're doing here on Nantucket specifically. So we should read that. Okay, thank you. No other questions? If so, we're gonna move on to special town meeting. Housing, it's really only one article, I think, Christy, right? That you want to talk about
Sure.
zoning bylaw to for apartment communities.
Yes, so just as a reminder, the trust doesn't kind of comment on any of these articles. This goes through planning board and finance committee review. But just before next week's special town meeting, which is next Tuesday, the 17th, I just want to make sure that the trust and the public was aware of any articles that related to housing. We did this before the annual town meeting and wanted to do this again before special. With it being very short warrant, with it being mainly focused on short-term rentals, there was one article, it's a citizen article named the apartment community. And this was brought forward to basically in an effort to create more year-round housing. So it would increase density as long as all the units are occupied year-round, and a portion of them are deemed affordable with deed restrictions on them. The proposal would have a special permit go through the planning board. And while we applaud the efforts of the citizen for putting this forward, the planning board made a motion to take no action. And I can always head over to Abby if she has any other comments to add about it. I'm happy to answer any questions that I can.
Abby?
I don't know if I have anything to add. I mean, Christy, thank you for the summary. I think that, like Christy said, I think although we appreciate the effort being made, I think the planning board just wasn't comfortable kind of supporting that approach at this time. I know I've mentioned in some of the other meetings, like, I think we would prefer for it to come from like a more cohesive, collaborative place than a citizens article, which we've seen with certain things where it's not necessarily that we don't support the approach, but really having it be kind of like a coalition of the different groups involved makes it easier for us to support those types of activities. So I think, as Christy pointed out, it's a good idea. I think just needs some more work and kind of coalition building before it would be brought to maybe a future town meeting and could be proposed in a slightly different way. So just my 2 cents.
Thank you, that's helpful. Anybody else have any questions, comments about this item? Okay, we're gonna move on to our year-round deed restriction program, pilot program. And the final draft by Judy Barrett is in your packet. Hopefully people had a chance to read it. I think that it is, Christy, we're supposed to vote on this today, right?
Yeah, so I know Judy was going to be joining us and is not online yet. I think she's wrapping up a meeting right before this. So if there's any questions, we could start with those, but the intent would be to be able to vote on the final guidelines and be able to put this forward to the finance department to issue so that people can start applying.
Any questions on the draft? I feel like we've been looking at this for a long time. So it'd be nice to get it going. Have we taken this to the select board already?
Yes, the select board saw it in the draft form when they approved it in May.
Yep.
Provided their comments, so I'll circle back with them with the final guidelines before it goes to the finance department.
Okay, because they have to approve the funding, no?
They've already approved the funding.
That's what I thought. Okay, thank you. Okay, any questions, discussion? Seeing none, is somebody willing to make a motion?
I can make a
Oh,
motion.
Tom, you're muted. Sorry, I see your mouth going.
Meg, you want to do it?
Perfect.
I'll make a motion to approve the year-round deed restriction program as presented in our packet with the contingency that it's that Brian Turbot and the finance department is satisfied.
Thank you. Meg, do you want to second it?
Second,
Thank you so much. Okay, by roll call vote, all those in favor, please say aye. Forrest?
Aye.
Thank you. Chantal Blas Murphy?
Aye.
And Abby De Molina?
Aye.
And Tom Dixon?
Aye.
Nick Browers?
aye.
And the chair votes aye, it's unanimous. Thank you very much. Okay, item number 8 is other business. Is there anything any board members want to bring up under other business? Okay, seeing nothing, I just want to mention our next meeting, believe it or not, is Friday this week, 11 a.m., Friday the 13th. And then the following meeting after that is October 1st, which is a Tuesday at 12:30. Okay, no, I covered board comments already. Okay. Now we are going to go into executive session. Does somebody want to make that motion? We're gonna stop this meeting and then reconvene in executive session. Can I make the motion, Christy? Am I allowed? No. I just have the writing in front of me. I have the words here.
You can read
I'll
it
make
and
the motion
read it out.
to
Thank you,
move to
Forrest. Okay,
the session.
okay. Forrest made the motion that we end this meeting for the purpose of going into executive session to consider the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property where an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the negotiating position of the Affordable Housing Trust members, and the chair so declares. Is there a second?
And
Thank you, Abby. Okay, by roll call vote, all those in favor, Forrest, Val?
Aye.
Thank you, Chantal Blas Murphy.
Aye.
Thank you, Abby De Molina.
Aye.
aye.
Tom Dixon,
Meg
Meg Browers.
Aye.
The chair votes aye, and yes, Alice, you have your hand up.
Yes, you forgot to say on the motion that we would be coming back to open
Oh,
session.
thank you so much. Friendly amendment, we don't have to vote that again. I'm gonna make a friendly amendment that not to reconvene in regular session. Is that all right?
Yeah, I think Forrest needs to do it though.
Okay,
Okay, I would like to make a friendly amendment that we will not reconvene to our regular session.
is there a second to that amendment, or is it acceptable to everybody? Yeah. Just nod your heads. Okay, thank you. I guess we will vote on the amendment just to be sure here. Sorry, you guys. Okay, all those in favor of the amendment, Forrest Bell.
Aye.
Thank you, Chantal.
Aye.
Thank you, Abby. Thank you, Tom.
Aye.
And Meg.
Aye.
The chair votes aye. Okay, so that's the end of this meeting. I'll see you on the other side in the executive session. Thank you.